Roll the credits. I'll bring Brandon back up for Q&A. All right, so if we get the lights back up. We'll go ahead and take questions at this point. Any questions?
What's the time slowing down when you have slow motion parts? Because it didn't really look like that.
The question is whether or not the time was slowing down when we got to the slow motion parts. This was a design idea that we went with. The time does not slow down, but we did take into that fact when we were figuring out the times for the level. So while it doesn't slow down with the slow motion, that's taken into fact, so it never becomes something that should penalize you for it. Any other questions?
I know you all have time constraints and so forth. I know you want to do more, but just off the top of my head, did y'all ever think about adding more to the game in regards to like player building their own level?
The question was whether or not we wanted to implement something where the player could create their own level. We never put any thought into that, and it would have created. We would have had to create a tool in order to do it, which is something that we didn't have. We just used Maya directly, so probably not within the time constraints. But yeah. Any other questions?
How did you go about breaking up the level for spatial partitioning? Did you do it in Maya with like rectangles and stuff, or did you use some kind of algorithm to figure it out?
The question is, how did we accomplish our spatial partitioning? The screenshot that we showed of the game world was actually from Maya. The red lines would have been in Maya, would have been splitting planes. We do all of our spatial partitioning in Maya. I hand placed all of the splitting planes and collision volumes, and when the game loads up, it's already split and ready to go. Any more questions?
Can I download the game?
The game is not currently up on a website, but it should be by the end of the week. You're looking for writerthegame.com. Any other questions? So,
In the beginning, you talked about the prisoners that turned into culture figures and so forth. Any reason why they weren't included in the game?
The question was why the prisoners who hulked out were not featured in the game. As I mentioned before, it was originally we had thought about turning them into a giant squid monster, and because of the asset cuts that we had, we were unable to get that in. And we still needed something along with the storyline that made sense, but we didn't necessarily require showing the mutants on the level that we're going to do it, we felt. Any other questions?
Had the tentacle monster been included, would that have been a series of quick time events where you're dodging the tentacles? Or?
The question was if the tentacles had been included, whether or not there would have been a series of quick time events. The question, yeah, that's exactly what we had planned for it. So. Any other questions? I will call one more.
What happens if you don't hit the buttons? Do you die?
No. If you don't hit the buttons inside the QuickTime, that was the question. Then you are penalized with not receiving a speed boost, and you also do not receive any boost in your boost gauge. So you basically end up going slower. You also don't receive any points to your total score. But we'll go ahead and call that our last question. So thank you guys very much for coming to us.